So, you want to be a vet? Awesome. Why not? You can make an average of 120 to even more than $200,000 a year if you live in the United States, and depending what state you live in. And there is actually a need for more veterinarians, so it's not going to be too hard to find a job. So what do you need to know before you become a veterinarian? Hi, I'm Dr. Orion, a veterinarian, and a veterinary behavior residency trained veterinarian. That means that I did a specialty or a residency in animal behavior, but that's a whole different topic. Right now, if you're watching this video, it means that you want to become a veterinarian and you want to know what you need to actually know. What I'm going to explain is true for most of North America and probably for most of Europe. I know that in some countries in Europe, there's actually a route that leads directly to becoming a veterinarian, meaning you don't have a difference between your bachelor's degree and your actual veterinarian degree, which is usually a doctor of veterinary medicine. But in most countries, you will actually have to have a bachelor's degree, or at least have enough courses on science topics. Only if you have enough of those specific courses, you'll be able to even apply to vet school. So what courses are these? Well, and again, that might be different in different schools, but all of them will ask you to have biology courses, molecular biology courses, labs in biology, probably virology as well. And I know biology sounds like a very broad topic, but many times the courses are actually called biology. You will need courses in chemistry, general chemistry, organic chemistry, biochemistry, probably a lab in chemistry, 1 or 2 courses, and you will need to have at least the basic of physics. And again, depending on the university, some universities will want you to have a course in either English literature or English writing, and of course, maybe different languages depending on where you're going to go to school. That's basically to show that you're able to communicate yourself and probably also be able to read scientific papers. Now, in some vet schools, they might even have specific bachelor's degree that are kind of like pre-med, so they're going to be pre-vet degrees. If your university has it, or the university that you're planning to go to has it, then you should probably aim to do that specific degree, because usually it will have all of the prerequisite courses that you will need to apply to vet school. But you should know that one pre-vet school in a specific university might not have all of the courses that you'll need if you actually apply for a different university. But it's very likely that it will actually have most of it. Me personally, I had a bachelor's degree in biology and a master's degree in biology. So I didn't actually need to complete any extra courses after that. Now, the master's degree is definitely not something you have to do, but in some situations it can actually help you because it might bring your score average to something higher, and then you're more likely to get into vet school, or just because they're looking for people from different backgrounds and they don't want everyone to come from pre-vet degrees. Now, usually most of the universities will first look at your score average. So the higher it is, the better it is. But that's not the only thing they're looking for. They're also looking for your work with animals. So during your degree, you should probably volunteer with animals, like in farms or in shelters. And if you can actually work as a veterinarian, a technician or assistant or something like that, and then you should do that. That will definitely help make your CV or your resume look so much better than other people's. In some universities, they're not gonna even consider you if you didn't do something like that. And I think it's good to do even if they don't look for it, because you do want to kind of like dive into the real world of veterinary medicine or of working with animals before you decide that you want to be a veterinarian. Because, you know, being a veterinarian is awesome, But there are good things and there are bad things like in any other professions. But when they're bad, they're bad. It's not a coincidence that the suicide rate among veterinarians is really high. What else should you know about becoming a veterinarian? Oh, yes, the next step after they see your score, after they see your average, and after they see your CV and decide that, you're probably a good candidate, is the personal interview. Not all universities do it, but some universities do, and I actually think it's a great thing because then they might not automatically accept only those with the highest scores. They will have some sort of a cutoff that they're not going to consider anyone below that threshold or below that point average, the grade average. But above it, they're not going to just pick the one that has the highest score. They will pick those that have a good score, but are also nice people that they think that can actually be good veterinarians in the future. In that interview, many times they will ask you things about why you want to be a veterinarian. And you should be honest. If you'll say that you want to be a veterinarian because of the money, that's not going to work. And also, the money is good, but if you need to pay back a student loan, it's actually not going to be that high. They're also probably going to ask things like, how do you deal with grief? Or if you have any kind of hardship, what do you do to get over it? Because they want to see how good you are with struggles. You're going to have a lot of struggles during vet school and after, because that's life. In the United States, there are public vet schools and private schools. The private schools tend to be more expensive. Sometimes it's easier to get to private schools because they will probably accept more people from different states and not just from the state of the school itself. As for the level or all kinds of grading of different vet schools compared to each other, I have to tell you that I actually don't think it's that important. I mean, it's good to have a great base, but many times you will learn a lot during vet school, but you will learn much more after vet school when you're actually a veterinarian. We never stop learning. It's not easy to get into vet school, and it's not that easy to finish vet school. But most of the people that get into vet school will also complete vet school and become veterinarians. If it is your passion, I say go for it, fight for it. If you need to improve your point average and to take more courses that maybe you don't have right now and are required for vet school, do it. Also, don't apply to just one vet school. It's good to apply to different ones, and even if you do have the availability, you can apply in other countries or at least states that are not that close to where you live right now. Age is also not a factor. You can be older than the rest of your classmates. You can have kids. You can be married. You can even be divorced. That's not gonna be something that will play against you. Don't be shy. Don't think that you lost your chance, that you lost your opportunity to become a veterinarian just because you're a bit older or a lot older. Because if this is your dream, go for it. I had someone over 50 studying with me, and he's one of the best vets that I know. So yeah, that's about it. If you want to know more, please write comments down below. I will try and answer them, or I will even make another video like this. And if you want to know sometimes why it's hard being a veterinarian, watch this one. But again, don't think that because we have bad days, then it's not a good thing to be a veterinarian. It's the best thing.